Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so check this out. Mark 11, starting in verse 12. And this is a Passion Translation. I love this translation. To get the point across, I really like how this words thing. So, anyways, the next day, as he left Bethany, Jesus was feeling hungry. He noticed a leafy fig tree in the distance, so he walked over to see if there was any fruit on it, but there was none, only leaves, for it wasn't yet the season for bearing figs. Jesus spoke to the fig tree, saying, "No one will ever eat fruit from you again." And the disciples overheard him. When they came into Jerusalem, Jesus went directly into the temple area and overturned all the tables and benches of the merchants who were doing business there. One by one, he drove them all out of the temple courts, and they scattered away, including the money changers and those selling doves. And he would not allow them to use the temple courts as a thoroughfare for carrying their merchandise and their furniture. Then he began to teach the people, saying, "Does not the scripture say, 'My house will be a house of prayer for all the world to share'? But you have made it a thieves' hangout." When the chief priests and religious scholars heard this, they began to hatch a plot as to how they could eliminate Jesus. But they feared him and his influence because the entire crowd was carried away with astonishment by his teaching. So he and his disciples spent the nights outside the city. In the morning, they passed by the fig tree that Jesus spoke to, and it was completely withered from the roots up. Peter remembered and said to him, "Teacher, look, that's the fig tree you cursed. It's now all shriveled up and dead." Jesus replied, "Let the faith of God be in you. Listen to the truth I speak to you. If someone says to this mountain with great faith and having no doubt, 'Mountain, be lifted up and thrown into the midst of the sea,' and believes that what he says will happen, it will be done. This is the reason I urge you to boldly believe whatever you ask for in prayer. Be convinced that you have received it and it will be yours. And whenever you stand praying, if you find that you carry something in your heart against another person, release him and forgive him, so that your Father in heaven will also release you and forgive you of your faults. But if you will not release forgiveness, don't expect your Father in heaven to release you from your misdeeds." All right, so there's so many, like lessons and teachings in this. But when I was reading it this morning, what stood out to me is that Jesus's timing is perfect, and there's so much like things we can glean from if we just look at how he orchestrated things and how he did things. Like, he was very purposeful in what he did, and I just love that. As they're walking, he sees the tree while he's hungry, and he goes to it and he curses it, and that's it. Like, at least that's all we have in the word is, it's kind of like, I curse you, whatever else, and they overheard, and then they went on, and he drives out the merchants out of the temple courts. But I love how he did this before he did this specific thing. And it's like, if we look at like current events and where the church is and all this, it's like, to me at least, like we're in that portion of it. Like, he's coming into the church, like he's dealing with his church, his people, and he's driving out these people, this den of robbers, and all these. He's driving it out because his church is supposed to be a house of prayer. Like, we have gotten so far from that, and that is not what, at least here in America, that just generally, it's not a house of prayer at all. And so I know that is his heart, obviously, but so like he goes and he's cleansing the temple and doing all this, and then after they're done, they are walking in the morning. They pass by the fig tree that Jesus spoke to, and it was completely withered from the roots up. And it's like, it is such a testament to us, that it didn't happen instantly. It still looked the same. He cursed it, and it was still the same. It was still the same when they left. And so, but when they came back and they saw it, the tree was withered up. And just, I just, I don't know, like, there's so much. And of course, like, I took a long time to get to this because I was not looking great at all and in my PJs and just, yeah. So I probably should have done it as soon as I got it, but I was like, man, I have to at least shower. But anyways, just, like, just the fact that it's just, we are such a microwave society, and we need to get out of that mindset, like, and that is what faith is. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And just, like, it wasn't instantaneous. God can work in the instantaneous, it can happen, but like, it's the faith. And then the lesson he had with that, having faith, if you believe it without any doubt, then it will happen, and like, when he cursed the tree, he believed it without any doubt. No, it did not happen right then, but when they came back, it was withered, it was done. Like, he went on about the Lord's business. He saw it, he cursed it, he went on to do what it is that God told him to do. That's what he came to do. He said he came not for his will, but for the Father's will. He went on to do the will of the Father, and that was to cleanse the temple. And, like, that was he was just going about doing what it was that he was supposed to do. And then they came back, and there it was, the tree. Like, he cursed without any doubt. He had faith in that. It was, yeah, there's just so much. And it's like, I don't know if you are getting it or whatever, but it's just like, there's so much in this. And it is just amazing. And this is where we, like, are supposed to be at as his body, as his church. Let's stop being concerned about those things. Like, we need to have faith without and not doubt. And a great prayer to pray is, Lord, I believe, help me in my unbelief. It's okay to pray that. He will help you. But don't dwell on those things. Don't dwell on it. Go on and continue on in the good works, in the faith that in what he has called you to do. Go on and continue on that, and then when it comes back around, it's gonna be different. Like, you're gonna see, like, it's, yeah, like, I hope this makes sense, and I hope it's not all over the place. It's a lot, but it's beautiful, and it's amazing, and it's like, we can do this, because Jesus was our example, and if he did that, he said that we will do even greater. And it's like, yeah, so I hope it makes sense. And this is an encouragement. And yes, don't forget the part where he's talking about forgiveness. That is key. We need to forgive. And it's like, it's so amazing that he even addresses this in that, because this was the temple. This is a holy place that people were in. Yes, it made him angry. He overturned tables, and he was, and him out of anyone had the right to, judge and whatever. But I love that he adds this forgive, because like he walked in that. It's a clear example. Like he it wasn't just at the cross when he was walking through forgiveness. Like it was his, I mean, look at the Pharisees and the people who laughed at him and just scoffed and all of this type of stuff, but he still continued in what the Father called him to, because he knew, because he spent time, he went away often to pray and spend time with his Father. But he had forgiven, like he walked in it all, like this is, it's right here in the word, like it's for us. And but yeah, like just, it's just, yeah, he's amazing. So I hope this made sense and is encouraging. And if nothing else, it encourages you to get in the Word yourself and search it out and see what He has to say, and what He's saying to you in your life. And even if you think I'm just completely crazy, if all it does is cause you to get in the Word yourself, and great. That is the purpose of this video then. So yes, have a great day.